alerting you to danger.
I was watching Channel 8 News when Brandon Lawson said, if here in Charleston now, if you're in the pinch area, yeah.
You need to seek shelter now. You need to do it now.
By the time I got to that door over here and in the door, I seen it coming around the bend.
That's hurricane force.
If you live
that is hurricane force winds right now moving through Charleston.
If you live in Charleston right now, you need to seek shelter now. You need to do it now. Interior room, lowest level of your home. This is South Charleston, I-64. Brandon, I haven't seen anything
I haven't
like
either,
this.
and we might want to start thinking here locally.
We probably need to let everybody know in the newsroom.
Yes.
Okay.
Get away from the windows.
Yeah. So we definitely need to seek shelter.
We've got a tin roof here.
If you're just now joining us, you haven't been paying attention to the weather. If you live in Charleston, you need to get to shelter right now. The lowest level of your home, the interior room. I hate to be stern with you, but this is a very serious situation right now. We just saw what happened in South Charleston with the West Virginia 511 camera. Those winds are just all over the place, and
our power's going out.
Our power is taking a hit here. Our generator should kick in.
Might want to go in here. Shelter, 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 shelter now.
Shelter.
Hang on with me. Yep.
I would say interior wall, interior wall.
Back here, guys.
Hey guys, come here.
Okay, we're taking this very seriously because there were
now to the bathroom.
Reports of 90 mile per hour winds, which is very intense. So right now, Charleston, this is coming through Charleston as we speak. Sissonville up along the Elk River. Take shelter right now.
Sorry, our viewers here, we're just trying to get our co-workers to safety.
Get away from windows and get to the lowest floor and cover your head.
Are we still on? I just want to double check and make sure.
I'm not sure, but we gotta. We'll roll with it like we are.
Potential tornadoes that are coming through the area currently.
And the nastiest wind, 70 to 80 mile per hour winds showing up on velocity, is now heading over towards Cold Fork, Pinch. So eastern Kanawha County, Marquette, Pinch, Elkview, you guys need to be in your safe spot. Chesapeake, East Bay, Pratt. So this is now moving into eastern Kanawha County.
Yeah, we're going to step back on the screen. Now, again, we're back in the studio. We were just in the bathroom there. I know the audio wasn't perfect. You probably even heard toilets flushing. But that is how this situation is. You got to get to that safe spot immediately. Here's the lines that moves through. So it's moving through eastern Kanawha County right now. Brandon, if you could just zoom in on eastern Kanawha County.
Okay, eastern
so we
Kanawha
can give
County,
our viewers
absolutely.
an idea.
So Marquette, this storm's moving through. The worst part of the storm is moving through Marquette right now. Cold Fork would be right in here. Here's Clendenin. So Clendenin, I mean, it's right on your doorstep. I would 11:22. Ignore the time there. This is moving through now in Clendenin.
Commissioner Salango, you were in the midst of all this also downtown when this happened. What did you see?
Yeah, I mean, we thankfully we had a lot of warning. You know, we activated EOC very early to make sure that we had people there over at Metro 911 getting ready to take calls. Metro's actually had over 500 calls in the last hour. Sheriff Rutherford just texted me. He is sending all non-essential employees home. This is video of the Shawnee Sports Complex. Obviously, our flagpole is over.
Here on Canal Boulevard, at the corner of Canal Boulevard and Brook Street. And I'll tell you, we have seen many police cars. We've also seen a lot of the city employees just driving by, trying to at least take inventory to wrap their heads around the amount of damage that's here. I'm going to try and move the camera here. I'm shooting this on my cell phone, but this is one of the large trees that is down here at the corner.
Jennifer, we've moved to Dunbar, where there's been a serious incident here along I-64 and the Tudor's Biscuit World parking lot. As you can see, a billboard has fallen. It's landed on a car that was empty at the time, thankfully. No one was in this car.
Now, Howard told us that he works at the Geno's Tudors here and had just finished up his break stepping inside as this storm came through.
Eyewitness News starts right now with severe weather.
Tornado warnings and watches dominating the day. Wind gusts of anywhere from 60 to 100 miles per hour, leaving a path of destruction. Right here, you're looking at video as the powerful storm slammed downtown Charleston just after 11 o'clock this afternoon.
And those winds tearing off roofs, ripping trees from the ground. And here in Milton, they were strong enough to bring down a giant billboard in the Malcolm Springs subdivision. As it came down, it ripped off the front of a home.
And here's a look from our Sky Team drone. Shows the damage from above. The roof of the Gestamp building in South Charleston blown completely off.
Governor Jim Justice is now calling for a state of emergency in 4 counties. We have crews across the tri-state.
Yeah, starting with Anna Saunders. She's in Dunbar, where a billboard is still laying across Fairlawn Avenue.
It's a scene that really takes your breath away and a chilling story to match.
A few minutes later, employees run in and say, Ron, it's your car. I think they're playing a joke on me. And I come outside, and that's what I see.
But the National Weather Service office in Charleston will likely be sending a storm damage survey team to Proctorville and several other locations across that region sometime tomorrow.
This billboard, instead of on a car, is on top of a laundromat. I mean, you can see just from the force of this, it bending the steel.
As you can see behind me, this area is where the storm left a path of destruction.
Guys, we've seen numerous power outages through the day today. Right now, AEP is actually reporting 122,000 customers without power. But take a look at these winds just rushing into the parking garage there. That was likely just one of the last spots that Evan could go to. Look at that debris just shattering right in front of him.
Thanks, guys, both of you, for your hard work today, keeping all of us informed, help protect our families. Brandon Lawson, 16-hour day. He's double duty.
Your first line of defense against severe weather is the Eyewitness News Storm Team.
Anna Saunders is live for us in South Charleston.
A lot of things are happening right now. We showed you earlier, right, the car that had gotten trapped in the water. We do know that the woman made it out okay.
This is absolutely amazing. I've never seen this before in our region. This is on I-64. The eastbound lane's completely covered with water. This is a rare sight.
But we had way too much rain, a record amount of rain in the Kanawha Valley, in fact, and that led to some tremendous flooding, especially around central parts of West Virginia.
First tonight at 5, our weather alert as the region continues dealing with all this high water and the aftermath of thunderstorms and heavy downpours last night. A hillside giving way in Boone County and floodwaters carrying cars, uprooting trees in Kanawha County. We are continuing our team coverage in those areas for you. Anna Saunders is in Sissonville, Paige Taylor in South Charleston, Daniel Burbank along Lenz Creek.
Not only are people's homes and bridges damaged, but also people's cars. Now, I want you to take a look at this drone footage from our Eyewitness News Sky Team drone. You can see here just how intense this flooding was last night.
I wasn't expecting all this. I know it flooded out here once before, but not this bad.
And this is one of the many situations that we're seeing here in the county. This is the most dramatic hill slip that you will see. This is from our Eyewitness News Sky Team drone. At the time, the West Virginia DOT put barrels to warn drivers.
Some folks dealing with this, some starting that cleanup process as they had to be rescued from their homes last night that got water inside. Take a look. This is one of those people, Tiffany Hamrick and her family, some of the people that had to be rescued by raft last night.
A 14-year-old girl found dead inside her home.
Kennedy hadn't been outside the home in years.
Eyewitness News exposed broken chains in the link of safety.
The mother of Kennedy never turned in any of the homeschooling assessments that she was supposed to.
Asking tough questions.
State police dropped the ball a little bit. DHHR dropped the ball. Education folks dropped the ball. Everybody could have done better.
Eyewitness News, holding the powerful accountable.
And we do have breaking news right now. Eyewitness News just confirmed through school records that the 14-year-old girl found dead at her home last week in Boone County, leading to her mother's arrest, was being homeschooled. Now, Kennedy Miller started homeschooling in February of 2021 at the request of her mother.
This case, though, creating a lot of conversation about safeguards for children who are pulled from school.
Miss Miller, anything you want to say before you go in there?
Julie Miller arriving to court on Monday for her preliminary hearing in a child neglect case that deputies referred to as shocking. Her teen daughter, Kennedy Miller, was found dead, extremely malnourished, in a skeletal state. Her grandmother telling deputies Kennedy had only been outside maybe twice in 4 years and was in poor health, not eating for months.
DOHS claims its annual critical incident report does that. And while it does contain some overall data, the answers we have been looking for are not in here.
In our Freedom of Information Act requests in the case of 14-year-old Kennedy Miller, we wanted answers to these questions. Did CPS know about Kennedy, and did they make any visits or launch any investigations before her death? We were initially told by Governor Justice that CPS did not know her. Yesterday, he went back on that, saying he was told false information.
We've got basically attorneys that are with DHHR
and they screw it up.
Here you can see data on location of child abuse and neglect cases, as well as the cause of death, the victims' ages and races, and the age of the perpetrators. But what you won't find, though, is what we have been looking for: information about CPS involvement or awareness in these cases before it got to this point.
Records that reporter Leslie Rubin just obtained confirmed CPS knew about the teen more than a year ago. She joins us live in the studio with breaking details. Leslie.
Gina, this West Virginia State Police call report confirms without a doubt that someone did call in a welfare check on Kennedy Miller at her home on Cameo Road in Morrisvale on March 9th, 2023, and state police referred the case to Child Protective Services. The next time police would be called to the home 13 months later, she was dead on a bathroom floor. Sir, is there anything you want to say? Jerry Stone walks into the Boone County Courthouse following his wife, Donna. Do I have anything to do with Kennedy's death? The elderly couple now charged in connection with the death of their 14-year-old granddaughter, Kennedy Miller.
What happened? I'm with the news. We just want to know what happened to her.
Cabinet Secretary Cynthia Pursley went on to say she was aware of our reports that, quote, suggest that West Virginia State Police intended to make a referral on this child in March of 2023, but said a search of records suggests no referral was ever made. Today, the first time we've had the opportunity to question the governor about it.
I've been told by numerous sources that the West Virginia State Police trooper who made the welfare check on Kennedy Miller on March 9th, 2023, drove in his cruiser directly to the DHHR office in Rock Creek immediately following that check and made the CPS referral in person. Have you been made aware of that? Is that true? If so, why has DOHS maintained that no referral was made that day?
Here's what I know. You know, that there's an officer that says that he drove.
By telling us the only proper way for law enforcement to call them into action was through a phone hotline.
What difference does it make if they made a phone call or tied a note to a rock and threw it through the window of the office? Once the agency becomes aware of what's going on or the need to check what's going on, why didn't they do it?
Through a Freedom of Information Act request, I found GPS records that showed the exact path that trooper drove when going to follow up on a call requesting a welfare check on Kennedy Miller, and where he drove immediately after. The GPS shows Sutphin drove directly to this Boone County DHHR office in Foster. He was there for 8 minutes and 12 seconds before checking back in with dispatch with another update.
117, True Call. 117. You noted on that carry call reference that welfare check, but I just made that CPS referral. Just put it in the notes on it.
Leslie Rubin and Anna Saunders are live at the state capitol, where state officials announced their findings today.
Gina, there is a lot to unpack here, but I really want to start with the things that we have been telling you about for weeks, about that 2023 referral that a trooper says he made. I've talked a lot about those assessments that the state says are mandated. And Anna, what did we learn today about those assessments and what could have happened here?
Leslie, we can now say with certainty that Julie Miller, the mother of Kennedy, never turned in any of the homeschooling assessments that she was supposed to.
When breaking news affects you.
Well over 1,000 customers without power right now, as you can see it just dangling there in the power lines.
Eyewitness News is first on the scene.
Our own Kenny Bass was here when it very first happened.
Updates on air, online, and on your phone. Follow Eyewitness News for more breaking news coverage.
We understand that crime scene investigators have just started to process this scene. Take a look at this incredible video, though. Not only in addition to the crime scene division, we also understand a county medical examiner is here as well.
Charleston police have released the name of the man killed last night on Regency Drive. They say Jalik Harrington was found inside an apartment with several gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Harrington was a senior member of the West Virginia State Yellow Jacket football team.
On opposite sides of the field, but in one moment together, sharing a common pain and loss. Before Jalik Harrington wore number 22 for West Virginia State, he was number 31 for Carson Newman.
He was such an incredible young man.
The 21-year-old was shot and killed at a Charleston apartment complex on Tuesday night, the night before he was supposed to take the field.
We were there as the Ohio CSI team was taking photos.
This is the moment as Ohio's crime scene unit began documenting the shattered glass after South Point Elementary School principal Bill Christian was stabbed.
The sound of children playing at recess is a welcome noise for communities still dealing with the effects of a violent stabbing at the school.
How are they feeling coming back to school?
Lots of nerves this morning.
Daniel Burbank is live in Kanawha County. And Daniel, this is very early in the investigation, but how are neighbors doing? I understand it's a very close community.
Dave, I spoke with a neighbor who lives just yards from where her two neighbors were found dead, and we talked about the good memories that they had, and she's just shocked. I mean, April says that she talked to one of her neighbors just last night, and now that suspect, 31-year-old Marcus Guy from Charleston, they knew each other. Now, of course, he then spoke to our camera after the arraignment was over.
Do you have anything you want to say? Are you sorry?
Sorry, Shelby, I love you.
31-year-old Marcus Guy from Charleston talked to our cameras tonight, apologizing to his girlfriend Shelby for allegedly killing her mother and 14-year-old brother.
A 55-page report that I received through a FOIA request shows state police's internal investigation into this. It reveals there were miscommunications, violations of policy, and a problematic history from one of the troopers involved.
Once the other troopers arrived, Bean said in his testimony he came on scene with the idea that X-Line had Ellis's gun and that Ellis had been hurt, which was not the case. This, according to Bean's testimony, is why he then hits X-Line with a flashlight and uses what troopers call compliance strikes, punching him repeatedly. The video shows X-Line getting hit and tased multiple times throughout the struggle.
Ow! Give me your hands! Put your hands behind your back!
Once they announce X-Line is secure and handcuffed, multiple agencies arrive on scene. They eventually attempt to get him up, and he becomes unresponsive. CPR begins, and there are even 2 attempts to Narcan X-Line. An ambulance picks him up, but it's said on scene he has no pulse.
The former mayor of Williamson walking out of an emergency city council meeting after resigning.
What about the embezzlement? I mean, people are saying that they lost all their 401k money and all of that.
I can't talk about it. No comment.
The resignation comes after a federal investigation alleges Charles Hadfield intentionally misused more than $34,000 of funds from Williamson Memorial Hospital.
Eyewitness News starts right now with breaking news.
Good evening. Right now, breaking news out of Charleston, where Charleston police are investigating the city's second homicide this year, this time at a tobacco shop in North Charleston.
Paige, what else do we know?
Dave, Gina, we have very limited information, but this is what we know right now. Charleston police tell us this was a homicide, and the victim was a man who was an employee here at the tobacco and pipe shop on 7th Avenue in North Charleston.
This has to stop, and it's only going to stop if we make it stop.
A family pleading for change as they grieve the loss of a 19-year-old shot and killed last night in North Charleston.
And if we can try to find a way to keep that from happening, we definitely will.
Charleston police investigating that murder say violent crime among young people is on the rise. Tonight, what they know and the other shooting that could be connected. In our team coverage report, Anna Saunders is standing by right outside the smoke shop with that heartbreaking interview. But first, we go straight to Daniel Burbank live at the Charleston Police Department. Daniel.
Dave, Charleston police are handling their second murder case just 1 month into 2024.
Anna Saunders is live now with their reaction.
Caden Martin had big dreams that went so far beyond just working here.
Holding each other close in front of the store where their grandson's life was taken, where a candlelight memorial now sits, Caden Martin's grandmother, Sandy Cedeno, and Jill Martin are overcome with emotion.
It's senseless. It should never have happened.
We're live outside Charleston Police headquarters with the latest on this investigation and how the community is reacting just ahead on Eyewitness News.
A 14-year-old Charleston boy charged with shooting and killing a tobacco shop employee will now be tried as an adult. Eyewitness News reporter Leslie Rubin was the only reporter in the courtroom moments after that decision was made.
But now, for the first time, we can tell you the name of that suspected shooter and show you exclusive video from inside the courtroom. This is Brajan Williams Hampton. He's just 14 years old. And
I don't want you to die. I want you to suffer every day in prison.
Caden Martin's mother, Jessica Boyce, chose to face her son's killer.
Took our accountability questions to Dunbar Mayor Scott Elliott.
An officer who was involved or named in a lawsuit where someone died and someone is alleging brain damage, and now they're being promoted. What kind of message does that send?
It doesn't. Whenever there's civil service laws that I have to go by.
Winters later was telling the people at South Central Regional Jail that if you run from me, I suplex you.
Don't pull away from me.
It's primary night in West Virginia. Citizens are choosing who will be on the ballot for the highest offices in the Mountain State. Eyewitness News is tracking all the major races. Our special coverage begins right now.
We've got Anthony Kahn covering the race for Manchin's U.S. Senate seat, Daniel Burbank and Paige Taylor keeping tabs on the much-anticipated governor's race, and finally, Anna Saunders keeping tabs on local races for us.
To recap, the former chair of the West Virginia Republican Party tells me this is the most expensive race in the history of the Republican primary.
Your voice, your future. The race for West Virginia's chief legal officer. Speaking for legal interests of the state, putting the public benefit first. Former U.S. Attorney and current State Senator Mike Stewart and State Auditor J.B. McCuskey battle for the Republican nomination for Attorney General.
I've had great titles. I'm not running for a title. I'm running to do the job of Attorney General and protect the people of West Virginia.
I am the only candidate in this race who understands how the bureaucracy works from soup to nuts and will be able to stand side by side with the next Republican governor as we reform our government.
They take the stage at West Virginia State University for a debate in our Eyewitness News town hall discussion.
The issue of blocking her from your campaign site, would you continue that practice as AG?
No, so listen, I think it's fair to have these discussions, and I think it's important that everybody get free speech. We've got to get tougher on these issues.
Thank you, Mr. McCuskey.
Yeah, so to your first question, I don't believe in blocking people on social media, especially when you're a public figure. If you're going to step in the kitchen, sometimes you got to take a little bit of heat.
It's election night across Appalachia. All of you choosing the next leaders for the nation, your state, districts, and towns. Eyewitness News is covering it all from across the region. Welcome to our special 2024 election coverage.
We have team coverage spanning the region tonight, ready to bring you the very latest as these races play out, learning who will become the next governor of West Virginia, who will take the seat Senator Joe Manchin held in the U.S. Senate for nearly 14 years, and the races that determine what's next in all of your communities. First, let's focus on the U.S. Senate race with West Virginia Governor Jim Justice and former Wheeling Mayor Glenn Elliott fighting for a chance to work in Washington.
Anthony, if you want an idea of how confident the Justice campaign is feeling tonight, go ahead and take a look around.
The crowd is still very electric here, Anthony, and I'm joined by Governor-elect Patrick Morrisey. It was an electric crowd when you first walked out there and announced that you were the winner. And I mean, the polls closed, and just 3 minutes later, we got those results. What was running through your mind?
Well, I'm just humbled.
And coming up tonight on Eyewitness News at 11 o'clock, our Kenny Bass will be joined in our studio by Attorney Rusty Webb and Kanawha County Commissioner Ben Salango to talk about the state and local races across our area.
We have Kenny Bass and Leslie Rubin live here in the studio to break everything down for us.
All of this revolves around West Virginia Department of Transportation Secretary Jimmy Riston. Regarding the internal investigation, CPD is checking to see if the department's body camera policy was followed during the traffic stop and if proper procedures were used while investigating a possible DUI. But breaking right now, we've exclusively learned new details about who the 911 caller was. Leslie Rubin is live with what we know about him and the call that is now under criminal investigation.
Kenny, I can confirm that Glasgow Police Chief Derek Cox made that 911 call. He wasn't on duty, but now police say what he told dispatchers wasn't true, and they want to know why. They're investigating the possibility it was a setup.
National sports icon and West Virginia basketball legend Jerry West dies at 86 years old.
This is a good man, a man that loved West Virginia beyond good sense.
He put the Mountain State on the map and helped define the NBA.
He would let it go and he would just start running to the locker room. There wasn't a better clutch player in the history of the NBA other than Jerry West.
Known as the logo and the Zeke from Cabin Creek, a look at the mark he's left on the game.
Honoring a legend. West Virginia native Jerry West. Eyewitness News special coverage starts right now.
Jerry West, often called a basketball genius, died this morning at the age of 86. Born and raised in Kanawha County, West started at East Bank High School before joining the Mountaineers. He would then go on to lead WVU to the program's only national championship appearance. After his collegiate career, he was selected second overall by then Minneapolis Lakers, where he would have a Hall of Fame career that led to his likeness becoming the NBA's logo.
The football rivalry between Ravenswood and Ripley has been one of the Mountain State's richest. After a 3-year layoff, the two schools are ready to battle once again. Yes, the Hatchet Series had been buried, but tonight it comes alive on Ravenswood's brand new turf. The 89th edition of the Red Devils and the Vikings is coming your way next as we bring you our Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Eyewitness Sports. From the beautiful Ohio River city of Ravenswood, along with West Virginia Broadcasting Hall of Famer Kenny Bass, Hannah Klein on the sidelines, and our wonderful FNR crew, Mark Martin. Delighted to have you with us. We welcome you inside the Light Opera Guild here in Charleston, and it is our pleasure to be bringing you a WVSSAC Town Hall. What happened and what is next?
See, the most recent and maybe the most top of mind for everyone, the delay of the West Virginia high school football playoffs. And let's not forget, Class A of the volleyball playoffs as well.
Giving back to our community.
A fun-filled day helping out here at the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association.
Helping when we can.
Our first treat.
Came up begging. I had to do it.
Our animals are super thankful that you guys came out and helped us out today.
Eyewitness News.
Right now, members of our Eyewitness News team are volunteering at the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association for our day of service. And that's where we find our own meteorologist, Brandon Lawson. And Brandon, I was just down there with you guys making some treats and walking some dogs. What are you up to now?
Man, this has been such a fun-filled day helping out here at the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association, Anthony. As you just said, we just got done walking some dogs on the trail about an hour ago.
We planned this months ago to give back to the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association. But on March 27th, an incident happened at the back of their building. So that need and what we are going to execute today changed immensely, but we still helped out, and we are here all day, and we've seen a huge amount of outreach with the community to help them move forward. So
Eyewitness News is proud to serve our community.
What does this mean for you guys here that we are getting our hands dirty and helping out the kids?
Yeah, it's huge for us.
Collect school supplies.
This is our annual Tools for School supply drive.
And toys for kids each Christmas.
We have a tower of toys here.
Food drives to make sure families have enough to eat. And getting $30,000 of scholarships to student athletes. Serving our community is our privilege. Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News anchor Anthony Kahn here, spending the morning at Cedar Grove Elementary reading to second graders. It's Dr. Seuss week, so he read them one of the Dr. Seuss classics, the Sleep Book. Annual Eyewitness News Tools for School drive was a complete success.
Tools for School really helps them not worry about having what they need when they start the school year. So it gives them that extra boost of confidence.
Helping children start this school year off right. Eyewitness News.
We have a ton of those school supply items. I'm here with Beth, and I just am so impressed with the amount of items that were just received.
People have been coming in, dropping them off. They'll holler, and we'll go out front and pick them up. So we've been excited about it as well.
All these donations were processed through the United Way today, and now it's time for them to be sent off to students and teachers in multiple counties. We spoke with Emily Halen from the United Way, who says these gifts are just what the students need to start their year off with confidence. Eyewitness News News and Union Mission have partnered for our Tower of Toys, and we need your help. Now through December 20th, drop off a new unwrapped toy at one of the locations on your screen or scan the QR code to give online. Donate today to help our neighbors in need.